The discovery of Joshua's great witness stone at Shechem is one of the most significant archaeological findings related to biblical history. Shechem, an ancient city mentioned throughout the Old Testament, played a crucial role in the history of Israel. It was the location of key events involving the patriarchs, the conquest of Canaan, and covenant renewals. The finding of a massive standing stone at Shechem has provided compelling evidence that aligns with the biblical narrative, particularly Joshua 24, where Joshua sets up a witness stone as a testimony to the Israelites' commitment to follow God. Before we start, we'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy our video, please hit the like button. This will help us reach more people and create content for you. Now let's get started with today's video. The biblical account of Shechem. Shechem is mentioned in the Bible as a sacred and central location in Israel's history. It was the first place where Abraham built an altar to God, Genesis 12 verses 6-7, and was later associated with Jacob, who purchased land there, Genesis 33 verses 18-20. However, its most notable mention is in Joshua 24, where Joshua gathers all the tribes of Israel at Shechem for a covenant renewal. In this passage, Joshua reminds the people of God's faithfulness, warns them against idolatry, and calls them to reaffirm their allegiance to Yahweh. After the people vow to serve God, Joshua sets up a large stone under an oak tree near the sanctuary of the Lord, declaring, "See, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord which he spoke to us. It shall therefore be a witness against you, lest you deny your God." Joshua 24 verse 27. This moment is significant because it establishes Shechem as a place of covenantal remembrance. The presence of a large, sacred stone aligns with this biblical event and serves as a powerful link between scripture and archaeology. The archaeological discovery of the witness stone. Shechem has been excavated multiple times, with notable work conducted by German archaeologist Ernst Sellen in the early 20th century. During these excavations, a massive standing stone was uncovered near the remains of a Canaanite temple. Initially, this stone was thought to be a simple monument or a water trough, but further research indicated that it was a foundational base for a sacred standing stone, known in Hebrew as a matzebah. Sellen's excavations revealed that the stone had been intentionally placed and that its positioning correlated with descriptions found in the book of Joshua. The stone, standing several feet tall in its original form, was placed before an altar where sacrifices were made. This altar and standing stone were part of a larger complex, identified as a temple, possibly the Temple of Baal-berith, mentioned in Judges 9. Sellen's discovery aligned remarkably with the biblical text. The stone stood in a location fitting the biblical description of where Joshua's covenant renewal took place. The temple and its surroundings also match the timeline of the Late Bronze Age, the period in which Joshua's events are believed to have occurred. The debate over the interpretation of the stone. The interpretation of the Shechem standing stone has been the subject of scholarly debate. While Sellen and later archaeologists like G. Ernest Wright supported the idea that this was the same stone mentioned in Joshua 24, others were more skeptical. Some scholars, such as Gabriel Welter, dismissed the biblical connection and argued that the stone was purely Canaanite in origin, not related to Israelite history. Welter, who took over the excavation after Sellen, disagreed strongly with the idea that this was Joshua's witness stone. In an act of opposition, he reportedly ordered the stone to be removed from its socket and thrown into an excavation trench, causing further damage to it. This act was met with criticism from biblical archaeologists who saw it as an attempt to erase a crucial link between archaeology and scripture. Despite these debates, the dating of the temple, its destruction, and the presence of burnt remains all point to events described in the book of Judges, where Abimelech, the son of Gideon, destroys Shechem's temple by fire, Judges 9 verses 46-49. This further supports the notion that this temple and its sacred standing stone were significant in Israel's early history and biblical events. The connection to Joshua's covenant renewal. The presence of a standing stone at Shechem aligns perfectly with the account of Joshua's covenant renewal. Joshua's stone was meant to be a lasting witness, and its placement under an oak tree at the sanctuary of the Lord suggests that it was set up near a sacred site. Given that Shechem was a well-established cultic center, the discovery of a large, carved standing stone fits the biblical narrative seamlessly. Additionally, the biblical description of the stone's purpose, as a witness to Israel's commitment to Yahweh, parallels the function of standing stones in the ancient Near East. These stones were often erected to commemorate treaties, covenants, or significant religious events. The idea that Joshua's stone served this function is entirely consistent with known historical and archaeological practices. The destruction of Shechem's temple and the fate of the stone. In Judges 9, Shechem is again mentioned as the place where Abimelech, the son of Gideon, seeks to establish his kingship. The citizens of Shechem initially support him, but conflict arises, leading to the eventual destruction of the city and its temple. The Bible describes how the people of Shechem took refuge in the temple, but Abimelech and his men set fire to it, killing around 1,000 people inside. Judges 9 verses 46 to 49. Archaeological excavations have confirmed the presence of a significant burn layer in the remains of Shechem's temple, consistent with a fiery destruction. This destruction provides further evidence that the temple and its associated structures, including the standing stone, played a key role in biblical history. Although the standing stone was broken and later damaged during the 20th century excavations, its discovery remains a powerful testament to the reliability of the biblical record. The fact that it was found in the exact location where Joshua's covenant renewal took place, coupled with the presence of a major religious site, strengthens the argument that this was indeed the very stone Joshua set up as a witness. Implications for biblical archaeology. The discovery of Joshua's witness stone at Shechem is a compelling example of how archaeology can support and illuminate biblical history. It provides physical evidence that aligns with Scripture and enhances our understanding of how ancient Israelites practiced their faith. Key takeaways from this discovery include confirmation of Shechem as a significant biblical site. The evidence supports Shechem's role as a center for covenantal agreements, making it a fitting location for Joshua's renewal ceremony. Validation of biblical events. The presence of a large standing stone, an altar, and a temple that was later destroyed by fire aligns with biblical accounts in Joshua and Judges. Illustration of Israelite religious practices. The use of standing stones as witnesses and reminders of covenants is well documented in Scripture and aligns with similar practices in the ancient Near East. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you.